Leader of the third party.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. We hear in responses about healthcare over and over about the inputs going in. We don't hear about the outcomes that we're getting on the ground. Honourable Speaker, progress has been made on payments to family doctors, but the crises in healthcare continue. The ER in Port Hardy has had closures for months. A senior at Victoria General Hospital who recently had a stroke has had to sleep on an old couch in the hallway. He's now being discharged, even though he was told only days before that he needed rehabilitation from the stroke. Cancer surgeries are being delayed time and again, leaving people to get sicker and their prognosis worsens. To quote from a constituent in Saanich, "My husband has another 3 weeks to wait for his cancer surgery. We have waited weeks already. I see how a tiny melanoma spot on his head doubled in size within a week." Hospitals are discharging people, they're delaying essential surgeries, and they're past their breaking point. On top of it, they're preparing for things to get worse. Yesterday, BC Children's Hospital wrote a memo to staff stating they are establishing an emergency operations centre, anticipating that things for children are going to get worse. And nothing is worse for a parent than when you need care for your child and it's not there. My question, Honourable Speaker, is to the Minister of Health. What does he say to the people who can't get care for themselves, for their elders, and for their children in our healthcare system right now?
Minister of Health.
Well, thank you, Honourable Speaker. And yes, we are preparing for this fall and winter. Yes, in a global health emergency, a COVID-19 pandemic, we're preparing. This was announced and laid forward. This was announced and presented to the people of BC 2 months ago to demonstrate that that preparation is happening, to prepare every healthcare facility for what is expected to be, because of what's happened, for example, in the Southern Hemisphere, a more challenging flu and influenza and COVID-19 season in our hospitals. So yes, we're preparing in every healthcare facility in BC, and that is the strength of public healthcare, to prepare for exactly those things. So every health authority and every hospital is preparing. You bet they are. And I think the message is, in addition to everything else, the absolute fundamental importance for everybody to be immunized against influenza and immunized against COVID-19 with a bivalent booster this fall, which will assist greatly in ensuring those numbers were lower, but it will also assist in keeping people healthier through what will be a challenging fall. So the member is correct. We are preparing for that season, as everyone would expect we would, Honourable Speaker. And we did that in 2021, and we did that in 2020, and we delivered on those expectations with, I think, some of the best responses to the pandemic in the world, and we're going to continue to do it this year.
Leader of the third party supplemental.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Indeed, pediatric units around the world are showing signs of being under enormous challenge. Montreal's pediatric unit is being described like a horror film. 2 of their hospitals hit 2 to 3 times their capacity. In Ontario, adult ICUs are accepting teenagers to help create capacity at pediatric units. Here at BC Children's Hospitals, surgeries are already being cancelled because of nurses' shortage. The memo that went out to staff yesterday is asking healthcare workers to, quote, show up in a different way, lean in where emerging needs are the greatest. There's been a chronic shortage of nurses in hospitals. Imagine how those who have been working on short-staffed units and are already struggling with burnout feel when they're asked to lean in even more, instead of hearing that help is on the way. My question is to the Minister of Health. What does the Minister say to the nurses and doctors who are being asked to lean in when they are already exhausted, and to the parents whose children's surgeries have been cancelled?
Minister of Health.
Well, Honourable Speaker, first of all, I would say that because of the extraordinary work of our surgeons and our medical device technicians and our nurses and our healthcare workers and our health sciences professionals. We did more surgeries in September than ever before in British Columbia in a pandemic, Honourable Speaker. I would say that, of course, we're preparing for the conditions of the fall. Of course we are. That is our duty and it's our responsibility, and it's been that approach led by our healthcare teams around the province that has been effective in previous falls. It will be a challenge, and we are responding to them. I would say that we've added 604 nursing spaces this year. I would say that we've improved pathways for internationally educated nurses to work in BC. I'd say we've taken specific action to address issues in the workplace that are important to the BC Nurses Union and the Hospital Employees Union, like improved security, Honourable Speaker. I would say that we are absolutely leaning in to support nurses and everyone else in our healthcare system.